Hello, everyone. Welcome to Splash Panel Issue 4. It is May 19th.
Four whole issues
Four
so far?
whole issues. We're almost to the anniversary issue.
Oh, no.
I'm Mike. This is Lucas. That's the meatball over there.
It's actually a quilt, but it is a meatball.
It looks like a meatball with a face. And you remember, like, in the first episode, we talked about recreating comic covers or whatever?
Yes.
Making, like, graphic things. And I still want to do that at some point. I'm just not that great of an artist to do.
Me either.
We'd have to find someone. But that thing now can be, like, one of the things on the covers with us.
Just this meat wad type thing?
Yeah, you know, like if we do a Fantastic Four cover or something, you're the Thing, I'm Human Torch. That could be like,
all right,
Mr. Fantastic. The Invisible Woman's invisible, obviously.
Clearly,
because no woman ever is coming on this.
No,
podcast.
she's right here.
Yeah, this is the Invisible Woman, Sue Storms.
It's actually Scooby Doo.
He was a guest last week. Yeah, that's right.
There we go. He's back. Scooby Doo's our guest again.
And I'd like to clear up something else. A couple weeks ago, when we did the episode, the ranking, I was talking about a Todd McFarlane cover for Symbiote Spider-Man, and you said McFarlane Toys, and I was kind of like, no, he is involved in that.
Oh, is it?
I was looking on his Wikipedia page, so Lucas, you were right.
All right, look at that.
You know, I don't know if he got involved with it after kind of making his name in comics, if his family was tied to that or what, but he is involved.
All right.
So, you knew something.
I knew a little something. Look at that.
All right, so we'll jump right into, I don't know, comics.
Yeah.
Since this is the point of it.
Yeah, I would think so.
So you haven't been reading much?
I have not.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing is now that we're like caught up and we won't go falling behind. It's gonna be like an hour-long episode. So I'll just jump right into War of the Realms 4.
Wolverine
was in it.
I know.
He was. Spider-Man had to web him down from a frost giant trying to grab him. So basically...
I mean, it's not like he can have his bones broken or anything.
Yeah, he can't have them broken, really. So basically, they start to reassemble all the heroes because they're split across the realms and all that crap. And Thor's mom is part of the one team that goes to destroy the Nega Black Bifrost, Dark Bifrost that the Dark Elves had.
The Negafrost.
And she elects to stay behind to destroy it, so like Punisher and the rest of that group can go back to Avengers headquarters.
I'm still so surprised that Punisher is a thing during all of this.
Yeah, they definitely picked some like characters you don't think of to be part of this.
And I'm not going to say that Punisher's a B-list hero, because he's not really a hero. But why is he saving the world?
I don't know. I might not even say he's B-list. Like,
yeah.
I mean, he's had like some heights in popularity, but I don't know, he just comes and goes. Like, he doesn't stick.
It's just John Bernthal.
Yeah.
It's the only reason.
So they all kind of assemble, and they get Thor back to headquarters, and he's healing, and she stays behind to fight off like all these dark elves, and then Odin wakes from his like recovery sleep, the Odin sleep, and he appears there in almost like a hybrid between an Iron Man suit and the Destroyer. He's like wearing it. He's like wearing a golden Destroyer from the Thor movie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? And like him and Frida are kicking butt, and it's implied that they're going to meet their end, and they're like, "Oh, we'll be together in hell."
Yeah.
Valhalla, whatever the heck they're talking about.
Probably Valhalla, considering they're not.
Well,
evil.
they kept saying hell, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, hey,
I don't know about Norse mythology if they're one and the same. Like sometimes afterlife is just afterlife in some mythologies.
I think hell is its own like realm.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
I don't know. But that's really that. Now they're planning a counter-strike. And there's all these offshoot books too. I picked up the Spider-Man one. It's like the Spider-Man League of the Realm or something.
Okay.
League of Realms. It's kind of like a Fellowship of the Ring type thing.
Okay.
So
what are they carrying?
They're not carrying anything. They're trying to save people in some African city that are controlled by these evil angels or something.
Oh, interesting.
I don't know. Like I said, a lot of Thor lore that I'm not super familiar with reading this. But it's Spider-Man.
I just know in like actual like Norse mythology, Ragnarok, Thor is one of the first people to die. I believe he fights Nidhogg, the like world-ending dragon, and immediately loses.
Is that what that thing was supposed to be in the beginning of the Ragnarok movie?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know either. So it's Spider-Man. some dwarf, an elf, a giant, something else. Like, you know, bunch of Middle-earth things.
Yeah.
People that you've seen from various realms in Thor comics. A wizard from one of the realms or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up getting this angel to switch sides. And, like, she's just a lieutenant in the army or something, but, like, Malekith is not happy that they were betrayed, and that's really that. I don't know. That could be maybe collector worthy. I don't know a lot of these characters. They may have appeared before, but if not, it could be like first appearances for some of them. If you're, I don't think it's ever going to be a super popular book though.
I think the Dark Elves are still a good bad guy for Thor stuff.
Yeah,
they tend to be like a little bit more vicious in how they actually try to get things done. So
you remember that?
It's
thing,
a good read through.
You remember that thing in Dark World? The one that like crushed the...
Oh, yeah.
I forget what their names were.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
about. They tease like a giant girl version of that at the end of the Spider-Man book.
Oh.
And it's going to be fighting...
Yeah, because they crushed like a red crystal or something. It became like super.
It's either fighting the Guardians of the Galaxy or Asgardians of the Galaxy.
There's Asgardians of the Galaxy?
There's a title called Asgardians of the Galaxy.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I think the character Sif is in it.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. I haven't read it, but I think so. I don't know.
All right.
And then in normal Spider-Man stuff, Kraven Last Hunt thing, or Hunted, whatever they're calling this.
Kraven, the clone who makes spiders and vultures and rich people fight.
Well, there's Kraven and Clone Kraven. They're working together.
Oh, they're working together.
So basically, in this issue, Spider-Man gets captured by, I think, Clone Kraven. I'm not sure. And, like, they give him medication to make him, like, conscious and stuff, but he's still got, like, all the injuries and stuff, like, on him. He's bruised and stuff, so he's not completely healed. And the Clone Kraven is about to kill Black Cat and Billy Connor's son.
Oh, Little Lizard.
Kurt Connor's son, Billy Connor's.
Yeah.
And, like, they're making Spider-Man watch, so he decides it's a drastic idea to unleash the lizard, and that's kind of where they leave it. So that's going to wrap up.
How does he unleash the lizard?
Doc Connors put like an inhibitor chip or something in his spine.
So he's going to like web it out?
Well, sort of. But like the chip was designed to let him transform into the lizard but not be aggressive, not use any of the strength. And because of that chip, he can't like really do anything to help them bust out of prison.
Right.
So that's why they plan to take it out and
unleash the beast.
You know, it's a 50-50 shot with Lizard. Maybe he's going to attack Spider-Man after it's out.
Maybe he'll just attack him from the start.
Maybe. So that, I think, will wrap up next issue. So that'll be cool, because I'm kind of bored of that arc. I'm bored because of the stupid HU issues that were coming out. About, like, Vulture and Black Cat and Gibbon. Like, the Black Cat one was the only one that I thought was worth reading.
That's because Black Cat's an actually interesting character.
Yes, and they're giving her some sort of series. I don't know if it's ongoing or limited. But I probably will be picking it up.
Yeah.
I've been reading Spawn online.
Oh, God.
Because I've been thinking of collecting that. It's always been intriguing to me.
Especially since... Oh, God, excuse me. Especially since apparently they're remaking the movie.
Yes. Well, that's part of the reason, too. I'm thinking of maybe, like, getting some key issues.
Right.
I won an auction on eBay with issue 1, 2, and 4.
Oh.
Don't know why I didn't get 3. I read it. Not a huge, big key issue. You see his wife full appearance for the first time, so maybe maybe the guy decided to sell that as a separate thing.
Right.
But I can't imagine that's worth more than issue 1.
And that's what, Dark Horse?
Image.
Image. Okay.
So I've been reading that. It's interesting. I don't know. I haven't read it the last few days. Probably will read some more. I want to know about Spawn.
I know 2 things about Spawn. His cape turns into his axe, and his axe turns into his cape. And he was in Soul Calibur 2 on the Xbox version.
Okay, yes. I don't know if his cape does that in the comics. I haven't seen anything like that yet. The only powers I've really seen of him is like his chains can kind of I don't know. They kind of remind me of like a mix between Spider-Man's web and Doc Ock's arms kind of stuff.
I always thought they were more like what is it, Ghost Rider.
Yeah, okay, that'd be a good comparison too. and he was fighting some person, the Violator, who was a big enemy of his. I think he was in that Spawn movie they made.
Gotcha.
And like he did some sort of thing with his hand where it had like hellfire on his, like he had like a claw made of fire or something, and they were fighting. So I don't really know what his powers are.
Spawn's powers?
Yeah.
I know he was like empowered by like Malbogia or something. I think its name is
some sort of devil.
And,
I saw the character. They haven't named it yet.
Right.
I don't know if he's just supposed to be like Devil, Lucifer, some other thing.
And I know,
Trigun.
And I know that he Spawn wants to kill the demon that gave him the powers or whatever.
He's not happy about the deal that was made or whatever.
Yeah.
Because like Spawn's a black man, but for whatever reason, like in this resurrected life, he can only turn into a white man.
Oh.
So like when he goes to face his wife for the first time, he's a white man, and she doesn't recognize him.
Yeah.
And like she moved on because he has been dead for 5 years when the series starts.
Yeah, he's also like burnt to hell under the mask.
Yes. He's been dead for like 5 years when the series starts, and she moved on with her life, married someone else, had a kid, and he couldn't, like, I guess, give her a kid. He was sterile or something. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll keep reading it. If you guys have any recommendations as like specific story arcs to maybe read, because I don't know if I want to read all 290 something issues. But anything super key that I should read.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Well, it started in 92.
Oh, well, I mean, hey, 27-year-old series.
Yeah, it's coming up on issue 300.
Ooh, you gonna get it?
Probably. Probably for the collector.
Yeah.
Aspect of it. All right, well, moving along then. Talk some movies, because there's some Batman news.
Did you see Detective Pikachu?
Before that, not yet. Before we move out of comics, X-Men reboot, again.
Oh, God.
Marvel announced that they are canceling all their X-Men titles.
Yes, I actually did see that.
And they are rebooting, I don't know if all of them, but a very prominent X-Men writer in the past is coming back to write the main title. So, in a way, I've been collecting the new X-Men. I'm kind of annoyed because I'm like, what the hell?
Right.
Like, are they going to, like, get rid of these stories that I've been reading for almost 6 months now?
Yeah.
And I'm hoping, too, with this reboot, like, I'm hoping that it does get rid of a lot of these other X-Men titles, because, like, I go into the stores and there's, like, 5 or 6 X-Men titles every week.
They got to get that Wolverine money. He's in everything.
Yeah, well, not even just him. There's X-Force, Astonishing X-Men. There's a Nightcrawler solo series, and I don't know.
Who would read a solo Nightcrawler story?
I don't know.
What does he do? He poofs on people?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he does.
Is that, like, his restriction of his power from the movies accurate?
I would have.
Where he has to see where he's teleporting?
I would bet that it's probably close to that.
You know, technically, he could probably fly.
Probably could.
He could just keep teleporting.
I remember I had this X-Men game for Sega Genesis.
It'd smell really bad, though. Because every time he poofs, it smells like sulfur.
Is that what they said?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's because he's supposed to be like a demon.
Oh. I remember I had this one X-Men game on Sega Genesis, and I'm pretty sure you could play as Nightcrawler. There was like 4 X-Men you could play as, and then like 4 like assist ones that would come in and do special moves.
Yep.
It was kind of like a, side-scrolling arcade style beat 'em up thing. And I think it was Cyclops, Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and
Storm. Probably.
I think she was someone that you could call and help. I don't remember who the 4th person was.
Thanos.
Could have been Colossus. I don't remember. But I do remember whenever I would pick Nightcrawler, he was very weird to use his teleportation power, and like you would use up your whole bar just like trying to like stop teleporting and like get stationary.
Good lord!
You're just like, I'm like, oh god, no, I'm not playing as him anymore.
This guy's a flippin' mess.
I wonder if that still works. I should play that again. All right. So, movies. There's a new Batman.
Oh,
Did you see it?
I have a movie to talk about too, and yes, I did see with the guy from Twilight.
Patterson.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that?
I haven't liked most of the live action Batman movies, so I'm not real excited for it. But there was a picture that I saw of, what was it? Who played it before? Ben Affleck?
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben Affleck and this Robert Pattinson guy next to each other, dressed up as old Bruce and Terry McGinnis.
Maybe. I don't know if that's what they're going for.
I would love it.
That'd be cool.
I would love it a lot.
Although that would just be like even a bigger mess for DC movies.
You don't think they could do Batman Beyond?
I think they could if they do like a good run of initial Batman films first.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, could you imagine they decide to reboot Spider-Man and instead of Peter Parker or Miles Morales, you're just like, we'll go here. And I know you would love that, but people
I would totally be okay with that.
People who aren't super familiar with this would be like, what the heck?
He's the cooler one from the future with talents.
You need to have a run of movies first.
He's like half spider, half future vulture. He's got like the spider that can like fly and shit.
Stuff. Yeah. I guess he doesn't have spider sense.
Right, he has something else.
Yeah, and he's got like an AI.
Yeah, and I think the suit actually like comes out of him, like he sweats it out or something like that.
Oh.
Like I know it's like nano something, and the suit can just it's there.
Yeah. Oh, it might be like in a watch or something. Like
yeah.
A Spider-Man cartoon where he had it in like a watch.
Yeah, because I know he works for like some sort of biomedical firm or whatever like that. I really need to find a 2099 series and just read it through.
Yeah, they've tried a couple times to reboot that.
I mean, really all they ever do is show him as like some sort of an extra character, or like he's in the Spider-Verse comics.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't have a good run by himself.
Well, the initial 2099 run I think went for 30-40 issues.
Yeah, and that was like a while ago. They need to do a new one.
Well, they've tried. Like, I have one from either the third time they tried or second, maybe fourth. I don't know. It's just an issue 1 variant. I'm like, well, that's cool. I'm grabbing it.
Nice.
So back to Patterson. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
at least he's younger, which gives me some hope that maybe DC can get their act together and make a competent movie universe.
But he's never been a young dude. Like, Batman's always been, like, 30-something.
Well, that's probably how old he is now.
Yeah, probably,
that's why the movies were a while.
Yeah.
But, like, Ben Affleck is closer to collecting Social Security than he is from graduating high school.
That is true.
So, you know, why would you go with old Batman?
I mean, if they're going to do, like, young Batman, I would love to see them start with him in the League of Shadows.
Well, that's essentially what Batman Begins was.
Well, yeah, but Batman Begins is a bad movie. Like, I want to see him, like, you know, training through everything, and, like, maybe at the end of that movie, he becomes the Batman.
Oh, it might be cool, but...
Doing stuff with Talia, you know, setting up for, like, a Damian...
People want to see Batman.
I want to see Damian Wayne. Because Damian Wayne is an asshole.
Well, people may want to see that, too, but, like, you can set that up with, like, flashbacks. People want to see Batman. You're not going to a movie to watch Bruce Wayne. You're going to see Batman.
True. Are you telling me that you wouldn't watch a show or a series that was completely based on the runnings in Wayne Enterprises?
No, and in fact, I'm kind of surprised that show Gotham is still on TV, considering there's no Batman.
Dude, I was sitting down upstairs, because I'm in my basement, as you can see. Well, my mother's basement. I was sitting upstairs after dinner one night, and my mom was flipping through the channels, and just like, wait, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It's still on.
Go over that one. New. No way!
Yep.
That show was so bad. How is it still going?
I don't know, man. Probably because, like, they took so much comic book out of it and put, like, drama stuff. Because I remember when I stopped watching, there was, like, affairs happening. And,
like, there was...
What?
I watched maybe, like, 30 seconds of it, because that was as much as, like, my mom would, like, let be on the TV upstairs. And, like, Coulson had, like, a beard and stuff. I'm just like, what the hell is going on?
I'm super removed from it. I stopped watching, like, season 3 or 4.
I might have to catch up with it.
Maybe.
It's probably not very good, but I have all the time in the world right now.
I heard they had Ghost Rider appear.
Oh, my God.
And they had the thing with the Inhumans.
Oh, yeah. Wasn't that its own series, too?
I know they wanted to.
I know they had what was it? Who's the king of the Inhumans? The guy
Bolt?
Black Bolt, the guy with the voice. And they had him in like the blue spot on the moon and all that, and apparently like his brother was trying to take the throne. I know that there was some sort of Inhumans thing, but I didn't follow it enough to know how long
I thought it was
ran.
supposed to be a movie, but then they like nixed that.
Yeah.
And,
Well, it was supposed to be a movie. It was supposed to come out in this phase.
yeah, I think it was after. Because, you know what? I bet you. You know how they're talking about in the Spider-Man trailer?
Mm-hmm.
The effects
Multiverse?
of the multiverse and stuff. And like the effects of the snap radiation.
Inhumans.
I bet you that was supposed to
be the Inhumans?
lead to Inhumans, all the gamma radiation.
But
now it's going to be X-Men.
Now it's going to be X-Men.
Yep.
Now we're going to start... Oh, crap. Does that mean we're going to have to do, like... How's that going to work? Wolverine was, like... He was a thing during the Civil War stuff.
That's what I'm wondering, too.
Did he fight in World War One?
He's... I'm assuming that the Origins movie did a pretty good job. He fought in, like, multiple
Yeah, he fought in,
wars.
like, every war.
He knew
and
Captain
Sabretooth.
America in World War II.
Oh, yeah, he did.
So I wouldn't be surprised if he fought in World War One.
Yeah. Didn't they do, like, a thing where they saw each other? Was that a thing in a movie?
No.
No? It was what was it, First Class or whatever, one of those movies where they saw them in a bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wolverine's pretty old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know how they're going to tackle it. That's their job to figure it out.
Nah.
They might do, like, collapsing multiverse. It might be the simplest thing to, like, have a history full of mutants.
Oh. And then that one just falls into their reality.
But then that's also... I don't know. I wonder, should they have just, after Endgame, actually made it the end and kind of redid it?
Could you imagine?
Because, you know, people are going to be super confused who don't read comics and understand the nuances of a multiverse.
Yeah.
Like, people are going to be like...
Which I think is what they're trying to set up with Far From Home.
I'm still not convinced.
To kind of ease people into, like, this is how a multiverse works. You have to be aware of this so we can make more movies.
Yeah. I don't know.
You're still convinced it's all a hoax.
Maybe.
Mysterio.
He's the master of
Mysterio
illusion.
is a spellcaster. I'm so happy.
He's the master of illusions. We'll see. Find out in July. But sticking kind of with this Patterson thing before we get to your movie thing, and I have one other thing. What do you think the best actor or actress cast in any superhero movies has ever been? I have two that come to mind as absolute perfect.
Out of all of the superhero movies that have ever been made?
Yes. You can go back to the first Superman with Christopher Reeve if you want.
I mean, I loved Superman 2. I don't remember.
Well, not the best movie, like best cast.
No, like whoever the Superman was. I can't remember his name.
Christopher Reeve.
Oh, yeah, then yes. I loved him as Superman.
Okay.
Amazing Superman. And, what was it? I think that was the one with Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor.
No, that was Superman Returns or whatever.
Okay, then that was my favorite Superman.
Oh, that guy.
And I know people hated that Superman.
It was pretty boring.
That was a bad movie. That was a bad movie.
Way to pick that guy.
I mean, hey, if there was a Booster Gold, I would have picked him. But,
little Star C, Rowdy Rouse and the Boys superhero draft.
Yeah, I love Booster Gold. He's a good character. But if I had to pick somebody more recent, I still think that they got the best actor to play Bucky.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Winter Soldier was a perfect cast.
All right. There are some good ones that I would say, but aren't exact perfects, like Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. She's good. I wouldn't say perfect cast job.
Yeah, she was able to play the role really well.
Mm-hmm.
She, like, when you saw her in that movie, you're just, that's Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like Brie Larson where you're just like, she's just getting a paycheck.
Yeah. Well, you know, the thing is with, like, Wonder Woman, at least from what I remember in the comics, she's big.
Oh, yeah.
She's like...
She's thick.
She's thick. She's big, muscle. And, you know, I'm sure Gal Gadot could outlift the shit out of me.
Yeah.
But she didn't look jacked.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing. But she did a really good job with that. I would put her, like, in the top area. Patrick Stewart as Xavier.
Yes.
is
That
very
is true.
good.
Very, very, very good.
Oh, there are three then that come to mind for perfect. So my perfect cast that they did an absolute perfect job for.
Blade.
Never actually seen any of the Blades.
Oh my god, we have to sit down one of these days.
Robert Downey Jr. as Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Perfect. Like,
Yeah.
that's just to a T.
I don't think that was the thing that restarted his career, but it was one of the things that definitely led to him being a household name.
Yeah, and it kind of made Iron Man relevant in comic land. Like, before he was, like, around it and stuff, but, like, he was just perfectly cast. Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a good one.
Which one? Which Deadpool?
The Deadpool.
the good Deadpool.
And then, Dark Horse that you probably don't see coming, but I think it's perfect.
I thought you were actually going to name a Dark Horse comic movie.
A Dark Horse that you just probably forget even happened, but it was probably the best part of that movie. Can you guess?
Edward Norton as Hulk.
Kelsey Grammer as Beast.
Oh my god!
Perfect, in my opinion.
Holy shit, he's blue!
Yes! Yes. I don't know. Like, that. Like, he is such like a proper person in all the roles he ever plays, and maybe even as a person, I don't know him, but like, that was a great Beast cast.
He was an exceptional Beast. I would say out of all of the X-Men, the only one that I didn't particularly like was Rogue.
Yeah.
She, because like Rogue is supposed to be like this Southern girl with like a thick Southern accent. She didn't have like the euphemisms and words and like
They also made her a young teenager as opposed to an adult.
Yeah.
Who like can touch Captain Marvel and steal her powers.
Be a badass.
Which
instead she kisses Iceman, gets frosty breath, and almost kills him.
Yeah. And then she has to like grab a
pyro. You know the worst part about that whole thing? Iceman's gay.
She turned him gay. She sucked the straightness out of him.
She sucked the straight out of him.
Alright, so what are your movie things? And I'll go back to the last thing on mine.
So it's actually anime and movie.
Ooh.
So me and my cousin went to go and see Saga of Tanya the Evil, the movie, which is...
I've heard... Is that anime or comic?
It's an anime.
Okay.
And, well, it may also be a manga. I didn't actually read it.
Okay.
So I hadn't watched the series, and my cousin doesn't like going to movies on his own. So just like, you want to come to this movie? I'll buy. I'm just like, all right, sure, whatever. And we went to Elmwood because they get all the good foreign films. And I'm sitting here like 2 hours before the movie. I'm just like, I need to familiarize myself with this show somehow. So I load up Crunchyroll. I have a free month because of Twitch Prime. So I'm like, all right, free month. So I loaded up 1080p, going through it. Great series. Absolutely loving it. It follows a story of a girl that was once a guy, like he was a salaryman, working in Japan, like firing people and, doing all that stuff. He fired a dude. He was sitting there reading a book in front of the train station. Dude came up behind him, pushed him inside.
So he's reincarnated
as a girl.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that we're talking about a transition.
Yeah. And he, right before he's about to die, he gets visited by God. And God tells him, like, for shortening, I'm sick of humans forgetting about me. I'm going to make you believe. I'm going to make you believe that there is a God. And he says, no, that's bullcrap. I'm a devout atheist. There's no way that this makes sense. The best thing that I can do to say anything about you is that we as humans, as a scientific community, can't understand what you are yet, so I'm just going to call you Being X. Mm-hmm. And throughout the rest of the series, he dies, gets reincarnated as this, very little girl, and about, 9 years old, they do, an aptitude test, and finds out she has magic, because there's magic in this other world.
Oh.
And then she decides to, for all intents and purposes, join the Nazi party.
Wow.
And it's not a Nazi party. The rest of the world is communist. This, Germany that she's in is, I forget what the term is. They have, it's not communist, whatever it is. like totalitarianism.
That's communism.
Yeah, what I don't know. Whatever.
That's fascist. That's like anything with a dictator.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever actually seen their leader because I haven't actually watched the full series. But in the movie, like the series goes on, finds a character dies from Tanya, which is the main character, and then that character that she fights was empowered by being X as well. So when he dies, his daughter gets the powers, and the movie is completely based on Tanya and this daughter from the series fighting each other in like magical warfare and stuff like that. And it's like World War I, World War II mix up. Like they're in trenches, but there's like bombers and there's like, you know, hydrogen bomb type spells and stuff like that.
Wow.
So it's an amazing series to just sit and watch through because I think it's only one season.
Mm-hmm.
So we went to go and see that, and the best part of the whole movie was after the movie had ended and they show the first set of like credits. The guy from Crunchyroll came on. He's like, "Hey, you know, we're gonna do a thing with the we're gonna do an interview with the directors. Stick around if you want to do that." So me and my cousin sat there, and these other kids just started yapping at each other from like 3 or 4 seats away. And about 10 minutes into the interview, they're still talking. So I just turned to them like, "Hey, shut the fuck up!" And I got 3 people that's like, "Yeah." So, you know, I got to go to a movie about a little girl.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Yes.
Lucas is the hero that theater deserved.
Not was that... It wasn't the greatest part of the whole thing. It was exiting after that. I'm just like, every time we go to an anime movie, we went to go and see Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale. We went to go and see the season premiere of RWBY, the Rooster Teeth show. And we went to go and see the Saga of Tanya the Evil movie. Every time there are people in the theater that talk. And I'm just like, I don't know what it is. It must be the latent autism and fucking, like, the anime community. I don't understand it. And I got a couple chuckles of people as we were leaving. So.
Well.
But it was a very good movie, and I would suggest anyone to go and see Saga of Tanya the Evil, the movie.
Okay.
Yep. And watch the show. The show's very good. Very interesting animation.
Thing for movies for me. I keep seeing like suggested articles on Facebook about Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like to read clickbait, so I always go through the comments hoping somebody like puts a screenshot there. And this one particular article was about how Captain America put back the Soul Stone. Right.
I saw that ad.
And the article, the writers are just like, it's not our problem. that's what it was. That was theirs. So like, it's for future movies to figure out. But one of the best comments I saw was, this guy goes, "I don't understand how they got the stone. They sacrificed a redhead." And I'm like...
Wasn't she blonde at the time?
She had that mix going.
Oh, okay.
But I'm like, that is the comment of the internet. Why does this not have more like likes, reactions?
That is true.
Angry faces. Like, that is just such a great... It made me stop.
They killed the ginger, got a soul for it. Doesn't make sense.
Oh, that's the biggest plot hole. Not Captain America as an old man.
Nope.
Not the gamma radiation thing. It was that.
We'll see. Clint had to give up the thing he loved most, so it really hurt him the most. It took a piece of his soul.
Oh, okay. Maybe. All right, jumping into the collector's corner. I bought the AOC book.
Oh, right.
Ocasio-Cortez.
Yeah.
I did not read it.
I wouldn't either.
I bought it.
Sealed it.
Sealed it up.
Urinated near it.
Took it to the grader as soon as I could. And sent it out on my way. But I guess there were several different variants, and I was not fortunate enough to get any of them. Because like, I wasn't the only one who had this idea about getting it. This one place in our town over on Webster, 716 Pulp or whatever.
Yeah.
Have you been in it at all?
I know where it is, but I've never been in it.
That I guess is like the place in NT to go now because they're open on Wednesday. And the owner, she orders so many books, so she gets the
She gets variants.
She gets this like 1 in 50, 1 in 100 variant stuff because the guy told me they order like almost 100 issues of everything they order. I'm like,
wow.
And it kind of makes sense. That's where I got my most like rare variant was there.
Well, I mean, that's also like 100 of a book is only what, like $350.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know what they get.
Oh yeah, because they
pay.
probably don't pay cover for it.
Yeah, but still, like that's a lot of excess inventory on something. Like I wouldn't order 100 issues of Daredevil.
Yeah, true.
Regardless of what variants, if I was running my own store.
Yeah.
But anyways, the guy was telling me like collectors flock there Wednesday morning when they open. There's lines out the door, and they were all
Is Wednesday like a normal restock day?
That's New Comic Book Day. Yeah. And they were like, he luckily had one left. He's like, we put like a couple books aside, in case anyone straggles in like a day or two late, and we still have it. I'm like, so I got the last one at that shop.
Oh.
So that was cool, but it was just a standard cover. But there's several different variants, and I guess DC told Devil's Due to stop making a Wonder Woman cover that they had going on. So if you have that variant, that is going to probably be the like cream of
the expensive one,
because it won't be published anymore. Even if it was like a 1 in 20 variant or something, the fact that now production is going to stop on it, and it won't go into second print or anything like that.
And who made the book again?
Devil's Due.
Oh, all right. That seems like a fake company. What else have they made?
I don't know. They're probably just like an indie comic thing. They probably do one shots, and it was funny. The grader's like, so he's looking at it. He's like, looking for an issue number for like my order form. He's like, oh, it doesn't have an issue. I'm like, as far as I know, it's a one shot, and that's all I'm buying.
Right.
And hopefully, I get it back in 6 months.
You don't want to see the one where she, I don't know, like shoves Trump up like Kim Jong-un's butt or something.
No, I did want the cover where she was punching. I wanted the Captain America cover. That would have been.
Who's Captain America punching?
Hitler.
Oh, Hitler.
So that would have been hilarious to get. But no, once I get it back from the graders, I plan to check out eBay, see if anyone else has put CG Seed copies up yet. Maybe wait a little bit to let a precedent get set, but I don't intend to holding on to it very long.
No.
I don't think she's going to be in Congress next term.
No.
I think her own party is going to kind of primary her out.
Like, as somebody who is more left-leaning, I don't even like her.
Yeah, so we'll see. But if you have it, I don't know. Up to you to do what you want. I think with collecting and the sites that track CGC comics, there is a precedent to be set, but just because the precedent's set at like $200, if she's not relevant in 4 years and nobody remembers her, no one's going to pay $200 for that. So I plan to flip it as soon as I can.
Yeah. Get it, like, I don't know, hold it for like 9-10 months, something like that.
Well, it takes 6 months to get back, and I should get it back sometime in November, maybe December at this point.
What did it cost to actually like ship and grade that?
The book itself was $6. Takes $16 to get it graded, and as far as I know, that covers all shipping. Mm-hmm. So,
did you just take it to like the UPS store?
No, I gave it to you have to become like a member of CGC to do that. And I could do that, but I don't have the press and all that stuff to like press books. Right. So I found a guy through one of the comic book stores here in the area who does it, and you pay him the $16. You pay him whatever if you want to get it pressed. I forget what he charges for pressing the book. And he sends it off. Oh. So I'm anticipating getting a 9.8 grade on it. Like, never hit the shelf. Right. Me and the guy who gave it to me are the only two that handled it. Right. Yeah, so if I can even sell it for double what I did in this whole process. Which
get for $12 out of it?
Well, let's see. Not because I'm counting grading as part of it. So the whole process is like $22. If I can sell it for $44, it's worth it in my mind.
Get a nice crisp 50.
If it's the 9.8, I'm assuming that it's going to be worth at least 100, if not more.
Who's on the 50? Jackson? No, that's
Grant.
20.
Or
Grant.
Grant, yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, because like, if it was Jackson, that'd be really funny, because he did like a lot of slave stuff, and that was real bad, and she's kind of against all that.
No, not slave. He was awful to the Native Americans.
Ah, right.
The Trail of Tears.
Yes, right.
Other
garbage, horrible precedents.
Other collector things. Mary Jane keys apparently are a hot thing now.
Mary Jane keys?
Like key issues.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't know. I got mad at the article
because of the Far From Home thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like the whole article said, get these Mary Jane key issues, blah 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 blah. And after I read the article, I commented, and I'm like, don't call that character Mary Jane because her name's not Mary Jane.
It is MJ.
It's Michelle.
Michelle.
Was it Jones?
Something like that.
I don't know. She's not Mary Jane.
No. And
but apparently, speculators think that could lead to an increase. I would think that those already went up, though, because she was the star of the Tobey Maguire movies.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know.
But then again, people also didn't like who was playing her.
True, but I don't know. Maybe because those movies came out really before internet was like a huge thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't such a thing to track. But if you want to get some keys, look for Mary Jane key issues.
Is there anything that she has ever done that has been useful?
Well, she married him.
Well, I mean, didn't she also put on a suit or get infected by a symbiote or something at some point?
No, she wore his old Iron Spider suit.
Oh.
In one of the issues from the last few years.
The only thing
in countless universes, she mothers his children.
Right. The only thing I ever remember about Mary Jane is back in, like, I don't know, 2010, something like that, there was a statue that came out of her, like, bent over a washing machine or something like that, and everybody loves that. She's got just, like, the crop top white shirt with the Spider-Man head on, and everybody loves that, and I'm just like, I wish I could find that, because that statue alone has got to be worth, money now.
Statues are so weird, like, because I prefer the book.
Mm-hmm.
I would never pay for, like, the busts and bobbleheads and statues, because it is almost, like, $200 for it.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily know...
I know, I've bought a couple of them.
I don't know if those things actually are going to go up in value.
Yeah.
My whole thing about buying...
And the worst part is you have to make sure when you get it that it's not, like, mispainted somewhere.
Yeah, right. That's a gamble too that you take buying things online. Like, I don't know.
It's like I know a guy on Facebook that has like dozens of these statues. Mm-hmm. He's got like 7 or 8 Harley Quinns, and like he goes for like a lot of the DC like girls when they do the special ones, like when they were the bombshells and stuff like that. He was getting all of those, and I'm just like, dude, it's like $800 worth of statues. She's like, yeah, put them in the cabinet.
Yeah, no, I would not do that.
Like, and some people say, like, don't even take them out of the box.
I have a few things that I have not taken out of the box. I have from the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans, I have a Spider-Man toy where he's, like, on a gargoyle statue or something. Still in the box, and a Venom action figure from Spider-Man 3.
Oh, God.
And I have looked every once in a while to see if they went up. They're, like, 3 times what they were, but, they're $8 toys.
Well, like, I have some Star Wars figures from A New Hope, and those, like, they're not really well articulated or anything like that, but they have, like, cloth clothes on and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Those characters with their full outfit are, like, in the hundreds of dollars now. Yeah. And they were, like, $20, toys.
The only, I mean...
Of course, that's, like, in a really good condition, like, in box.
Yeah.
And, mine are not that.
If I were to ever get any kind of, like, comic book collectibles, it'd probably be the Transformer toys.
Yeah. The Transformer toys also come down to the thing, like, can you still transform it? And the moment you transform it, they're just like, well, now it's played with.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you know that it can be transformed then?
Yeah. That would be cool. But then, like, with those things, too, like, I keep some of them in the box. But those, those stupid, what are they, Funkos or whatever?
Yeah, Funko Pops.
I want to get a couple eventually and, like, decorate my nerd space with Spider-Man.
My sister has some Funko Pops on the dash of her car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go crazy. Like, I think Jared's got, like, shelves full of them.
Well, they're like $10 a pop.
Yeah, my girlfriend said that she has a friend who's just got, like, walls filled with them. That's too much.
Like, the thing with Funko Pops is there are limited runs of them, but they're never anything super interesting. It's just like, here's the same cast, but it has a gold film over it, and it's of course not real gold.
My guess is if you wanted to like actually get value out of those Funko Pop ones, you want to get like the exclusive ones to retailers. Like Walmart has exclusive ones, Best Buy. That's probably
or like
what you want to do.
there was a Stephen Colbert one that they gave out, or well, you had to buy it, but you could get it at one of the Comic-Cons, and like that one, you know, it's like $10 or $12, whatever it is. Like it's shelf value, but you could only buy them at that Comic-Con.
Yeah, so then you can resell it.
Yeah, but like, you know, who wants to have? I mean, probably a lot of people, but who really wants like a little Stephen Colbert with like weird beady eyes?
Can I get a Jon Stewart? And
Yeah, put them right next to each other.
Reassemble the Daily Show and Colbert Report.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's really. Oh, Death of Rocket is coming.
Rocket Raccoon?
Yeah.
How are they killing him?
I don't know. I'll probably get the issue.
Mm.
So if you want to check that out, that could be something that might be something.
I don't think he's ever been like killed before, right?
Yeah, not that I know of.
Mm.
All right. So Game of Thrones ends tonight.
Yes, it does.
And I have an idea.
It is not going to be good. I've already seen some spoilers.
Save those. Let's not discuss those. I've never watched a single minute of the show.
That's not true. You've probably seen the opening a few times at least.
I don't think so, man.
Wiener.
That's the closest to Game of Thrones I've seen is the South Park episodes about Game of Thrones. So with the series on tonight, I kind of want to watch it and stream myself watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, what would my raw reaction be to like this? Because people are like, you're like, it's going to be bad. I've seen videos of some of the cast.
Yeah.
Like they're asking them, like,
and they're like,
what do you think of the season? How did the show wrap up? And they're like, and then I saw like a Peter Dinklage one where he's just like, well, we've got the best writers in Hollywood.
It was bad.
He like kind of like looks over to like the way some of the comments. He looks off to the side instead of in the camera, and the guy's like it's like he's looking to make sure the writers don't slit his family's throat or something. Like he's in a hostage video.
Well, like people don't like D&D, like not the game, but like D&D is what they call the writers. I forget their names, but they both start with D, and they've just like, I don't want to say it's completely their fault. HBO rushed them. HBO said, you have this amount of money, get it done. We don't want to keep carrying this. So,
why?
I don't know. It's a huge thing for them, and I mean, it took them like 600 or 800 days, something like that, to be able to get from last season to current season. This season is only 6 episodes long. They have like 4 hour-and-a-half long episodes in it, and that's it. Like, so they made basically like, you know, out of 6 episodes, maybe like 5 1/4 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't get shit done. Like, one of the episodes was a complete, like, I loved it at the time, but thinking about it, they could have done more. It was all of these people that you've known over the last 8 seasons, most of them aren't going to be here next episode, because everybody's going to die in the Siege of Winterfell.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, the Siege of Winterfell was a great episode, it's kind of ended weird, and then there was another episode of just nonsense setup. Like, and then they had the last episode, which was interesting, and now this episode, so I don't know what will happen, but if you want to do this,
I kind of do.
I will totally say, I will hold myself back so we can see your reaction of having no idea,
I know,
and my reaction of actually knowing what's going on.
That'd be a good like thing. And we could do like a YouTube only special instead of doing a podcast side. But like I know some names.
Yeah.
You
know Daenerys.
She's the like blonde white haired chick.
Yeah. Who went batshit crazy last episode.
I've seen the spoilers online and the memes, so I can like piece some of that together. Like I know she's like crazy and killed a bunch of people or something, right?
She burned millions.
She's the one who like communicates with the dragons or master of the dragons or something.
Yeah, she birthed them.
She birthed. Okay, I didn't know that.
She took eggs into fire, and that was it.
Okay.
She can't also be affected by fire.
I know Jean Grey is a character in the show.
Oh yeah, Sansa Stark.
I know that the little girl killed the guy this, like, what, 3 episodes ago?
Yep.
The thing
The
they've
Night
been leading
King.
up to for, like, the whole series. She killed them. And
Which is nonsense.
And I'm kind of wondering what's left in these last episodes, if that guy is dead. Like,
he's definitely dead.
I'm not questioning if he's dead, but, like, imagine going to see Superman or Justice League and they kill Darkseid in the first, like, hour of the movie, and it's a 2.5 hour movie. You're like, what the hell's gonna happen in the next hour and a half?
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Apparently, stuff is happening. The Daenerys is killing people.
The only thing that makes sense now is somebody kills her, and that's not a spoiler because I don't actually know that fact.
Well, I could, if she's gone crazy with power and killing people.
Yeah,
I'm sure she's now.
There's always that, like, Targaryen madness that sets in. Like, her father was burning people alive, and, like, he melted an entire castle with his dragons because they were, like, it's a castle that can't be sieged by normal means, so he just burns it to the ground. And, like, that Targaryen madness set in real deep for her real quick. Like, the enemy had surrendered. They'd thrown their weapons down on the ground. They were ringing the bells. Gates were, blown open at that point in time. But they had lost. And Daenerys had won. All she had to do was go to the Red Keep and take her place. Instead, she's just like, ugh, Vietnam flashbacks, and burns everything to the ground.
So, yeah, I would be definitely down to watch this and record my raw reaction, because, like, one of the things too is ignorance is bliss.
It is.
I'm not going to know if this is good or bad.
Yep.
And I think
well, you might know if it's good or bad by my reactions.
True. But, like, I think about how I reacted to Last Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
And
I love that movie.
How maybe you reacted to Endgame, and how I've actually kind of
like that movie.
I've kind of settled on liking Endgame less and less as I think about it, and
you're like 40-60 now.
I think it was still good. I just don't think they should have done time travel.
Yeah.
I think, like, I was thinking about it last night.
Also, I don't think you can actually destroy the stones.
You could with the stones, like that's feasible, but, like, they could have done something so different. And I think too, what annoyed me about Endgame is how it appeared to them that the only thing the stones could do is snap.
Yeah.
Like, so consider this. One of the things that I didn't like about the stones, specifically in Endgame, they kind of tease it in Infinity War, when, like, the gauntlet gets destroyed after Thanos does it. But, like, it takes a toll on you.
Yeah.
That's not how it is in the comics. And I realized it was a plot device to, like, weaken Hulk and kill Tony Stark. But you could have had Tony Stark steal the stones, and, Thanos throws his blade at him. Like, he's got a moment to, like,
he snaps
snap,
and then it hits him.
It hits him. They could have killed him that way. And I think a much simpler thing, too, because if you get rid of that, like, ridiculous gamma problem, someone like Steve Rogers could have put on the gauntlet and willed the stones back to where they came from.
Yeah.
Instead of opening this can of worms. Because the time travel where they take the stones isn't necessarily the problem for me.
Yeah.
The time travel where they return the stones and he lives out the rest of his life and appears back in the normal timeline is the problem for me. So, like, the fact that I thought about that in the shower, why couldn't the writers have done something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
The only thing that makes sense is that somehow in this other world, this, multiverse version of, what the MCU is, their rules are different.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a problem with them taking the stones and stuff.
But like, the thing with that is, there's never been a discrepancy with the stones. The stones are always the stones. They always work the same. Like, it's not like all of a sudden you're going to have a stone of bacon and eggs. Mm-hmm. Like, that can only interact with bacon and eggs. They could have also
done all kinds of other stuff, too. Like, they could have kept him destroying the stones and them killing him. Mm-hmm. And then, like, they go to the quantum realm, not to get him from the past, but to reassemble him, because he says he reduces them to atoms.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't have to do time travel.
Yeah. They could have replaced them,
Yeah.
atom by atom.
And maybe they could have introduced, like, Lady Death or something, and that's why he's back.
I would have loved a Lady Death thing, because that gives us something with Deadpool.
It didn't have to be the way it was. Anyways, back to, like, the Game of Thrones, like, people already like, I get the feeling, too, from what I see online, people don't like how it's gone.
Yeah. It's, I mean, personally, I'm not having too big of a deal with it. Like, I've watched every episode, but I'm not the person who's going to sit there and be like, this guy from this and with this and then these characters and they were, and then, you've got this house that doesn't like this, and then they just, no, I'm not going to be the lore guy with that. But I'm going to sit there and be like, I liked these characters. I don't like what you're doing to these characters. I had one character that I loved. They killed him off in a badass way. I'm okay with this.
Yeah,
so... It was not the Hound.
So what I think is, like, the hype is what makes people not like this. This
hype is what makes people not like a lot of things.
Because this had 2 years, right? In between season 7 and 8.
Easily.
And, that gives you 2 years of hype, of, like, theorizing, of all this and that and this. And that's kind of how I walked out of Last Jedi. Because I'm like, son of a bitch, none of my fan theories were true.
Right.
Nothing I've been reading on the internet came to fruition. Luke Skywalker was a giant bitch for most of the movie.
Last Jedi was a great movie.
He milked that weird thing, and I'm still not quite over that.
The blue milk.
So, I think that's what
and then he drank it warm from the cup.
And a little got in his beard. It was kind of gross.
Just remember, that man is also the Joker.
So I think the hype is what leads to people to not like that. And I don't have any of this hype to go off with. And I have also no background knowledge, so I think I'm going to do this tomorrow.
All right. Then I will hold off on watching it.
All right.
And
don't go on the internet.
No.
I'm gonna have to actually actively avoid Game of Thrones spoilers.
Yep.
Although, I could too just like see these names and without faces to put to the names. Like I know the name Jon Snow, but I couldn't tell you who he is.
He's Kit Harington, the most beautiful man in the world.
Is that the actor's name?
Yeah.
I don't know what that man looks like though. I know what Daenerys.
He looks like a man with curly black hair and a big beard and goatee.
That could be almost anyone.
There you go.
That could be Peter Dinklage.
But see, he's a beautiful man. Peter Dinklage is an imp.
But like, so I know who the Daenerys person
Peter
is because of like her look, because of like the snow white hair or whatever you want to call it, the platinum hair.
Mm-hmm.
What's the one? Stark one? The Dark Phoenix?
Sansa Stark.
Sansa Stark. I know her because I've seen her in other stuff.
Yep.
I know Peter Dinklage because you know who Peter Dinklage is.
Yeah, he's the only midget, and like,
well,
that's not Vern Troyer.
He's just been in like all kinds of stuff throughout the years. Elf.
He was an elf?
Yeah.
Who was he an elf?
He was the writer they hire. The scene Buddy comes in after going on that date and he's like, "I'm in love."
Oh yes.
He sees him and he's like, "Oh, I didn't know elves were down here," and he gets mad and beats the crap out of him. So, yeah, I don't have the hype, and I'm looking forward to doing this.
Yeah.
So tune in tomorrow. We'll live stream it.
Yes.
We won't live stream the episode. We'll just live stream us watching.
Yes. Like, it will probably be faintly heard in the background. That is about as far as we go. We don't want to get in trouble with HBO.
So, I guess that's really it, unless you have anything else to add. I know you said you saw a spoiler, so I don't want you to give predictions.
Yeah, no. I think whatever happens, the show is going to have a ending that will make sense, but will not be loved.
Okay. All right, well, I guess we'll wrap that up. I'm looking at the list. I don't really have anything else to add. I'm behind in One Piece, so I can't even do my manga thing.
Well.
So, thanks for listening or watching. Go ahead and follow us at Splash Panel Pod on Twitter.
Yep.
Email us splashpanel716@gmail.com. Subscribe on iTunes.
I love how your brow gets furrowed when you're trying to remember that.
Yeah. Well, that's who uses email.
Yeah.
That is if you're, 35, 45 and emailing, we might check it and get back to you.
Agreed.
We're probably going to get a guest on in the next episode or two. our battle's going to be Spawn versus Deadpool. I got to learn more about Spawn, and so do you.
Yes.
But I think that could be a good fight, because from what I've read from Spawn, he don't die either.
No.
So, that could be fun. Follow us, subscribe on iTunes and YouTube for the latest, because there are obviously things that we do on the podcast side, like the Endgame special.
Yep.
And on the YouTube side, the Game of Thrones special we'll do tomorrow.
Yep.
That isn't going to be necessarily on both platforms. Thanks for listening.